What's going on, my broskies? My name is Toadskii, back again here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we're back with another showcase for one of the New Year's Super Sugo Fest exclusives. Looking at the other side of the coin from Versus Kaido that we uploaded recently, we're going to take a look at Yamato today. Now, Yamato is both similar and also a lot different to Kaido. The major similarity is the fact that obviously they have a versus effect, you know, who would have thought, and also the fact that they're both centered around strikers, and I think that this character coming out at this time is fantastic. Strikers have been getting a lot of support over the past few months, and then we get another hard-hitting unit with Kaido versus Yamato. However, I will say that that's kind of a downside too, because a lot of the good striker characters that are focused around either being the captain or just good, solid striker support units are actually Yamato's and Kaido's, so it is kind of funny that we are getting another one of these units, but this character has a lot of interesting mechanics that we're going to dive in deep in today's video, and obviously the special animations look fantastic. So let's go ahead and dive in. So Yamato, a little bit different from Kaido, instead of being int is now dex, and is still a striker unit, but instead of being driven is free spirit instead. Who would have thought, right? A free spirit striker, and then Kaido being striker driven. So the captain ability of Yamato will boost both of her classes, being striker free spirit, by 1.3 health, and then receiving a 5.75 times attack boost when you have a matching slot, 5.5 otherwise. So this is, I think, the best captain in the game in terms of attack multipliers that is active for all characters. And I know some people are going to bring their attention to, you know, Nami, Robin with the 6 times boost if you've got an empty slot, which you actually can abuse now with the release of Law and Corazon. But I'm talking about natural effects. Like, obviously, you need to activate the special ability of Law and Corazon in order to get these 6 times multipliers to be actually good. This is the best captain outside of that, right? 5.75 is no joke, and this really opens the door for future power creep to potentially reach up to a 6 times multiplier. I would not be surprised if we are at a 6 times multiplier by the 9th anniversary in May 2023. But that's not what we're talking about today. This captain ability is fantastic because you are able to get a really high multiplier naturally, very easily. You just need matching slots. And she also makes tandem slots matching too, which is great. So you're able to make those tandem slots matching, which of course you want to be abusing the fact that she is a super tandem character. She also boosts the chances of landing on tandem slots. Now, through experience, through using her in a couple of pieces of content so far, the chances of landing on tandem slots is actually still pretty low. Even with double Yamato, the chances of landing on these slots is still like, I would say if you use all your slots, I'd say you maybe get 1 to 2 at a maximum. Maybe you'll get a little bit lucky sometimes, and sometimes you just won't get any. It's really annoying and frustrating when you're trying to use this character and their versus effect, and you're just unable to find these slots in order to charge that versus special. And I mean, characters that were versus characters back in the day, like Akainu, for example, Ace, Whitebeard, Shanks, even like Kaido and Big Mom was definitely a difficult one to charge as well. It can be very difficult for these to actually land. I feel like the best character was definitely Akainu though, versus Akainu was able to charge his special very easily because the chances of landing on those quick slots when he was the captain was actually absurd, and unfortunately they just didn't give the same love to Yamato in terms of charging these versus gauge specials. And I mean, Kaido has it the worst as well, because as a captain, he doesn't actually make those slots, you know, appear more often, but he does make the recovery slots transform into Wano, so I guess in a pseudo kind of way, he does make slots appear more often to charge his special. But either way, the added effect of Yamato as a captain is that she also reduces 10 turns of despair, which is incredibly strong. Obviously, we've had a lot of characters in the past that have done that, and it's just a really nice effect to have another way to remove despair, not having to bring characters on your crew dedicated to remove it. Unless if you're binded first and then you get despaired, I think at that point the captain ability doesn't activate properly. I can't remember off the top of my head, but the captain ability is very strong. And then you can have a look at her versus effect. Now remember, versus effect can be activated if the character is the captain or the crewmate. So it's a very valuable effect to have, and what Yamato does is that she provides 60% damage reduction for 2 turns, which might not seem amazing, but when you have a look at the rest of her kit, this makes sense. She also makes tandem slots matching for 2 turns, and also treats tandem slots as the orb multiplier is increased with tandem slots also for 2 turns. So instead of a tandem slot being a matching slot and giving you a 2 times boost, it's now actually going to give you a 2.25 times boost instead, which when you look at the bonuses, you know, a Wano slot is a 2.5 times bonus. So yeah, this is a really, really good effect. And I really do like this in the fact that you can use it almost in a utility sense. Like if you know heading into the next stage the enemy is going to make certain types of slots badly matching for your crew, you can use the versus effect preemptively, carry this buff into the next room because it's a 2-turn buff, and then it will negate the enemy from making any of your slots count as badly matching because Yamato also does it with her versus effect. So this is a very powerful effect to have. And then when you have a look at the special, which is the most important component here in terms of these new gimmicks and what she's able to provide for your crew, it's a really high cooldown. I mean, Kaido has the same kind of thing going on. The cooldown is extremely, extremely high, but the effect is very strong, making your right column slots into tandem and your left column slots into Wano, and both of those will go through block slots, which is great. And then boosting the attack of your striker and free spirit characters by 3 times for 1 turn. And then furthermore, if you have a striker or a free spirit captain, you get a boost to your attack based on the damage reduction applied to the crew. So this is a new type of buff that she's applying. This special ability icon, which lasts for 3 turns, says that if you have a damage reduction, which is a rainbow shield on your side of the crew, then you get a boost of attack based off of that. Now, it's actually kind of funny, in the actual special description, it gives you an example. Like, you know what's getting crazy when nuanced specials are giving you examples of what you can do with it in the actual description. So what it means is, for example, if you have an 80% damage reduction, you get a 1.8 times bonus. So if you had a 50% damage reduction, you'd get a 1.5 times bonus effect. So this is great because this is stackable with like every other boosting effect in the game. You can stack it with normal attack boosts. You can stack it with conditional attack boosts. So this has the potential to be very, very strong. Now, from what I have heard, apparently damage nullification, so if you use like a Capone special, for example, which is able to negate all damage for 1 turn, apparently this does not activate the effect of the damage reduction attack boost, so you can't get like a 2 times bonus off of it. So that is a little unfortunate. So I guess the maximum you could possibly reach is a 1.95 times bonus with a 95% damage reduction special. But what is actually really cool is that you can actually have support effects that apply damage reductions. You know, I believe like one of the old Hawkins was able to do it, like a 50% damage reduction for 3 turns. That would actually work with this. So that's kind of cool. You can kind of abuse different effects here. Now, you get the damage reduction based attack boost for 3 turns, but then the special continues and says that if you already have the damage reduction attack boost when you launch the special, you get a 2.75 orb boost to striker and free spirit for 1 turn, and an 80% damage reduction. So the really cool thing here is that you can use a special on 1 stage, and then the 3-turn damage reduction attack boost will move with you into a new stage. And then when you activate the second Yamato, because you have the damage reduction attack boost, the special will give you an attack boost, an orb boost, and the damage reduction, all applying all of the buffs at the same time. So yeah, with double Yamato, you can get a lot of really fantastic buffs activated, and of course when you have a captain ability that can reach 5.75, you can see how this can kind of spiral out of control and get incredibly strong very, very quickly. And the damage doesn't stop because this character also has a super tandem effect, so if you do get it to level 5, the super tandem will require you to have 2 Straw Hats on the crew, or you can have Ace and a Momo, which can count as your 2 characters. So that's kind of nice, you know, Straw Hats, which synergize pretty well in the fact that, you know, this character is a Striker Free Spirit focused character. There's lots of Striker and Free Spirit focused Straw Hats, and then Ace, which is lots of Free Spirit Aces, and Momonosuke, which, you know, to be fair, there's not a lot of Momos in the game, but it's leaving the door open in the future, which I like. Now, the actual Super Tandem effect will give a Tandem Attack Boost 2.25 to Striker Free Spirit for 1 turn, and then the really nice added effect of applying a 1.3 increased damage taken status to the enemy that goes through immunity to status effects. So a 2.25, tandem attack boost, which again stacks with your attack boost, your damage attack boost, your conditional boosts, and then also a 30% damage increase with increased damage taken, bypassing immunity buffs. So when you think about all of this together in one bundled unit, this is incredibly strong. But the super tandem effect, unfortunately, will only activate when you reach the final battle. So there is, a little bit of give and take. This is a very powerful super tandem effect, and they offset that by meaning you can only activate it at the final stage. So it's kind of understandable, and you do need to have, 2 other characters in order to activate it, which is, again, completely fair considering what you actually are getting out of it. But if you are able to plan the team correctly, this super tandem is nuts. Being able to get so many beneficial effects out of it. So it's a really, really nice effect for sure. And I think moving forward into the future, I feel like this character is going to age pretty well because, currently she's the only character in the game with a damage reduction base attack boost and a super tandem that synergizes with Straw Hats and being able to get increased damage taken through status effects without even having to apply a special, just through doing your super tandem effect. It's going to be really, really strong. I'm looking forward to seeing how this character will be abused in different team compositions in the future. Is this character going to be solely focused on striker teams? Is this character going to see lots of play on free spirit teams? There's a lot of questions moving forward, and as I said, the fact that the super tandem lists Momonosuke as one of the characters you can use for the actual super tandem itself means that this character is likely going to see a lot more play in the future. So that is pretty much going to wrap it up from me. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys were able to pull Kaido versus Yamato, let me know your thoughts and opinions on the character down below in the comment section. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure to go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post on my channel, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Other than that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.
僕にだって信じてくれる人たちはいる。